morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by BB. Reminder, as always, guys, there is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about markets. Welcome, guys. Happy Thursday. We are headed into the end of this week, but a new beginning to the month of May. Welcome, everybody. I hope we're all having a great week. A great first day of the month. After all, Bitcoin certainly is, just absolutely chatting. We were kind of discussing this, I think, on yesterday's open about how we usually see these negative GDP macro gap downs get eaten up. And that is exactly what we have seen here over the last 24 hours. But yeah, before we can get too deep into the conversation, guys, I'm Tommy. You also know me as Snorlax. I'm joined by Tucker, Jackus, and of course, Prometheus. Welcome to you guys. Before I can start talking about the market a bit more granularly, I'm going to ask you guys to hit that like button for us, right? And as I will continue to say, if we cannot hit the like button on green days, then when can we hit the like button, right? Especially with Bitcoin showing as much strength as it has been here over the last few days, the last few weeks, really. But yeah, hit that like button for us, guys. We're always very appreciative when you do that. But to talk about the market, right? I'm sorry if you guys hear that siren. It's kind of loud in the background, but StreamYard does a good job of canceling out that audio. Bitcoin is trading above 97K. We've really seen it kind of siphon the liquidity out of the rest of the market ever since New York open. That is largely because QQQ is up 2.5% on the day. ES up 1.5%. We are seeing a lot of strength from equity markets that is correlating to Bitcoin right now. And yeah, usually when we see that throughout New York session, we see Bitcoin really take the reins over. Altcoins might catch up. Maybe they've been running over the last few weeks. I tend to think there is a lot of meat on altcoin bones if, Bitcoin's going to continue to chat up and then consolidate. But yeah, I mean, Bitcoin dominance just looks like an absolute tank. And that is, truth be told, a very difficult chart to want to fade at this juncture. But obviously, there are some altcoins that have been giving some great outperformance, that continue to give great outperformance, most notably something like Fartcoin. God, I long for the day where I don't have to mention that ticker every single day. Obviously, some beta charts as well. Hyperliquid, once again, being incredibly strong. And yeah, I mean, that's really kind of the slate that we're seeing right now. The strength that crypto showed really over the last few weeks in the face of equity weakness is now materializing into relative strength, or not relative strength, but actual strength against equity markets, right? Which are also strong. And that's obviously benefiting Bitcoin. But how are we doing, guys? What are we seeing in the markets? Any thoughts going into the month of May? And any other tickers or anything else that you'd like us to discuss?
Sell in May and then rebuy for higher up.
How did I know somebody was going to say that off the open?
It had to be done. Now we can continue in peace.
Yeah, I think price action's obviously, showing the way right now. I mean, there's a lot of noise going on in the background, but ultimately, like we say, price is the ultimate arbiter of truth. And you're seeing indices absolutely melting face to the upside today, following the really strong earnings that we saw yesterday. We do have earnings from Apple later today, but
Yeah.
I mean, a good showing out of mega cap tech.
I mean, I'll be totally honest. I was a little bit disappointed because, Tucker, I was hoping you to say the line when we opened up.
I see, Jackus.
I was hoping today was the perfect day to do it.
Jackus. Boys, we're pumping. Boys.
Here we go.
Boys, we're pumping.
Here we go.
Oh,
we waited
man.
so long, but here we go again.
Oh, man, it's nice to see some green. It's nice to see some green, I'll tell you what.
Indeed.
Indeed.
BTC approaching 100K again, and I mean, as Prometheus laid out, all those earnings reports are pretty good, to say the least. I think lots of market participants expected very different outlook and scenario just not so long ago, if you think about it.
Let's see. I know. I don't know, man. Have you been looking at like, I mean, exactly what we talked about the other day of like that like 37K range? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it just looks like that. It just looks like that.
How many people have tried to short for the past like 20 days every single lower time frame trade, and they didn't even get a single low, to be honest.
I know.
Not a thing. Not a
It all
single.
got bought up.
Not a single H4 low has been taken. Pretty much, like maybe H1 lows, but not H4 lows.
Yeah, I mean, it's all just getting stuck up super quickly, which is exactly what was happening. Oh, damn. Exactly what was happening back there. Let me zoom in for you. Remove the drawings. Yeah, this. Same thing. Now you could be here and not here, you know what I'm saying? You could still do this, but either way, it's a decent outlook. But I mean, let's check the monthly candle.
The monthly is absurd.
Is there no wick?
Oh wait, no, today's the first.
Oh god.
Yeah, I forgot. Today's the first. I was thinking about the SPOOs monthly too. That is a disgusting candle on the SPOOs.
Yeah. I cannot believe that April actually ended up with such a tiny body candle.
I know.
So during
What do you even call that candle? Like the golden
I'm sure the
rocket ship?
candlestick bros could give us like a highly specific name for that candle.
I don't recall a candle of this magnitude with such a wick, actually. Like going back on the monthly on SPOOs, like back to 2008.
Oh man.
I don't think there is one.
I've checked. I don't think we've ever had one even close to the magnitude that what we've seen out of this one.
If you're gonna go on log, just to keep the scaling the same, you still don't see it. Like you see a similarly typed canvas, sure, but their magnitude is like so much smaller than the current one. You know, like you are going to see like 6% candles that are shaped similarly, but it was a 15% monthly candle.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane.
Yeah, that looks ridiculous.
I think, you know, just to be fair with our listeners, I think, you know, we are going to see price trade below the monthly open of May on all of the assets, but again, I'm having a hard time seeing new lows unless like you would truly need to go to 1929 type of recession. You probably need like yields at 6% and something like that.
There is like no wick on ETH, bro. Not at all.
I think ETH actually looks pretty good here finally. You know, it's got to get above, like I said, 2100. You can get above 2100 and things are looking pretty juicy.
This is really the only line I care about on ETH, man. We got to get above this. This is going to play. It's definitely going to play.
It will. It will.
This is just a vicious downtrend, though, bro. Look at
Mm-hmm.
breakout. Send it.
Yeah, and I think if you can put it in like a little inverse head and shoulder action, which is seemingly what we're doing.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
So maybe you scare some people and.
Yeah, I could definitely see it.
That actually does happen quite a bit at these like trend line breaks too. Like you'll get this right shoulder formed. So.
And I mean, if you look at BTC's trend line break when it got back above the descending trend line, if you pull it from the 97K down, and we kind of have similar price action where we chop sideways, and then you had that nice pop. Yeah, maybe ETH is somewhere in there, somewhere in that volume cluster after the breakout of that trend line.
Like Bitcoin did this one, remember? That was nice. There was your trend line, basically. This is a big spot, though. This is a big spot. Yeah. Big spot for sure.
He's going to come out, say good afternoon, and the markets will nuke and pump 1,000 points in a single minute.
When do we have Jay Powell speaking?
Is it this
next Wednesday?
Yeah.
I think we have BOJ tonight. I want to say
we already had it.
Did we?
Really?
No change in the policy.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was wondering why we were seeing it pump today. And I think that's a big reason why markets are moving so strongly. Just watching USD/JPY pump.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all right. Look, like I am like mid to high time frame bullish, right? But like, I will say, like, if there's a spot to hedge somewhere on the chart, right, at the monthly open with 0 downside wick so far, it's probably right here. Like it's probably right here. Like just being realistic, right?
You're gonna get stopped during the show, man.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
I really think we're gonna see the run on the pre-drop wick high at 99.5. That's literally where everyone who had any shorts will be gone.
Yeah, I think front running that 100K level could definitely play out, in some form of hedge to the downside. But I mean, we've seen a ton of strength off the lows, and that's exactly what we wanted to see. I've been talking about in the Discord from the 76K low, like you wanted to see a strong move out of Bitcoin, and we've got it. So, backfilling some of that liquidity could most certainly be in the cards. Flush some of those late longs out, scare everybody. And then, after that, we see the run up back to new all-time highs and, alts rip face. Ethereum actually does something and Solana goes, back to 200.
ETH is about to do probably the most important thing in a long time, and that's reclaim the range fully today. But I would wait for the daily close, but it seems like it. like a daily close above 1850, and I think truly Bears had a chance here to fight back, and they couldn't. And Bulls held the range lows on all of these weak retests.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They can still do it, but the time is running out by end of the day.
Tommy, you're awful quiet, brother. Is this a bull trap?
I mean, I don't think it's a bull trap necessarily for Bitcoin, but you will not catch me getting bullish on ETH. No chance.
Mm-hmm.
No, of course, I'm in the same boat on Tommy, and I think that Bitcoin will be leading ETH for a while still. Like that ETH BTC chart is clearly in a downtrend, and that low is still likely to get swept. Although I wouldn't clinch to it necessarily, but I'm still not seeing big outperformance from ETH just yet. But I tend to think that the USD price will go up. But yeah, as Tommy says, likely due to Bitcoin still.
I'm a very large bull on Bitcoin dominance this year, right? Like I've been making some pretty bold claims about it over the last few weeks specifically. I really don't think it's implausible that we see 80% on Bitcoin dominance this year, which I know is an absolutely outrageous number. But I mean, you have to think about it from the standpoint that if Bitcoin goes into price discovery within the next few months, right? Like, what does that imply when you're adding that much in market cap to an asset that's, trading around 2 trillion already? For example, right? Like if Bitcoin goes up 50% from current prices, or like 40% from current prices, that's like almost $1 trillion in market cap. And on a relative basis, think about how much more altcoins need to add, for that to kind of be like counterbalanced. So I think we're probably in a situation where, I mean, like Bitcoin can drag up altcoins, quite a bit if it's going to enter price discovery. I just think from the outperformance side, I think you still need to be a little bit selective until we see some of these leading major alts like ETH, like Sol, like BNB. I think they need to reclaim more territory before we get, that breadth that we talk about from like a traditional alt season.
In my opinion, I still think alt season doesn't come until ETH is above 4K on the USD chart.
I think you're right, Jackus.
What about Sol above 200? Will that do it for you?
Maybe on Solana, right?
I think Sol above 250 as well. Sol above 250 and ETH above 4K, and that's where it can come again. With like general. Again, I think there is going to be there. I think there are plenty of opportunities out there to outperform Bitcoin, and has been.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I'm talking about the general market outperformance, the general flow into altcoins. The general belief season again. That to come, because again, yes, BTC dominance has been going up this entire time. But you could have easily outperformed it even with majors such as XRP, Sol, BNB, and Pepe, So all of these outperform Bitcoin.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like as far as like the breadth, and especially like these VC coins, oh man, we're getting raided, aren't we?
I'm hoping. As well.
It's crazy.
Dude, this ticker, man, I see it every day in our like people can't even comment on our videos because
Dude, you don't even know how many comments I have to delete every single day from our YouTube videos. It's hideous.
Unreal. I bet, man. I see them in there. I've never even heard of this freaking ticker, but it's
don't even say it. Don't even. Yeah.
I won't say it. I'm not going to say it's like the it's like Voldemort around here, this ticker. But I think with like the market breadth, right? The number of things being bid, or rather the number of like altcoins being bid, because we have so many altcoins. Like we have this dichotomy, right? Where I think people want to bid altcoins that they think the market will eventually find. And then you have the other cohort bidding altcoins that the market is already telling you that it is actively bidding and going to continue to bid. And I think we're probably in the latter environment until we see, Bitcoin dominance top, until we see ETH, BNB, or Sol, or all of the above, really start to enter this price discovery period. And that was true when ETH, Sol, and BNB entered price discovery, or rather like for the cycle, towards the end of 2023, early 2024. We've seen this before, but we do need kind of like new highs on these major altcoins before you start to see that greater breadth. It's probably just going to be it's still going to be a market of haves and have-nots, I think, for altcoins until that occurs. But that's not to say there's not opportunity, right? Like fart coins literally up 6x off the lows. That's a very liquid meme coin that you could have played. Vice versa for something like Hype, up like 100% off the lows, a little more than that, showing a lot of strength. I mean, even Sol is up like what, 60-70% from the lows. So there's been opportunity in the market, just because there hasn't been like that widespread breadth that you typically see from a quote unquote alt season. I don't think Bitcoin dominance has to be like this super awful thing, because ultimately it is going to come back into altcoins. We don't know what level that's going to happen, but the higher Bitcoin dominance goes, the more of that market capitalization eventually goes into altcoins. That's my opinion.
So we should be excited, basically.
I think so. I've always said the higher Bitcoin dominance goes, the bigger alt season you're going to potentially get. But I also said with that, I don't think we are going to see necessarily like Bitcoin dominance to 2022 or 2021 levels for quite some time.
Man, these bots.
Dude, I can't keep up, bro. I'm getting overrun, dude. It's like the gorilla and the 100 men. Okay.
Yeah.
This is like me and Tucker playing COD Zombies and
Dude,
getting overrun.
I'm literally getting overrun.
Oh my gosh.
But it's like on every single platform nowadays, like X and Twitter and YouTube, and I suppose it's everywhere. It's just like getting out of hand, like truly dead internet.
No, Sosafly, that's what they want, man. That's what they want.
If it were a coin that had good volume on chain with this much bot activity, I'd probably buy it. But I've literally never seen this coin with the exception of our comments. So like, what can you do?
Oh my god. The fundamentals are good, bro. Yeah.
Future of finance.
Tommy, is Hype gonna reclaim or no?
I feel like it could pull back from this level, maybe below that last high or low it set, and then I think it could be ready to trend. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a less schizophrenic Sui when it trended last year.
Yeah.
You guys see Sui's getting applied for an ETF?
Dude, if Sui gets an
for
ETF, I'm so done with this industry.
Like Sui literally listed in 2023. I think there shouldn't be an ETF for such a new project.
It's like the new Matic to me, where it's just like so good at grifting.
Sui.
Wait, Matic renamed itself, right?
Yeah.
What did it rename to?
I have no idea, but I know it happened because that's the popular thing nowadays. FTM is Sonic. And Matic is what?
Study new charts.
Yeah.
No, study new charts. I get it, like wanting to erase your 2021 price history, but we
Renamed
see
a poll.
what was Polygon before Matic? Was the ticker just like Matic, or was it
Yeah.
something else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about like pre 2021.
It's Matic. It's just
It
you
went
type,
from,
you type
no, it was Polygon, right? It was Polygon.
no, it was Matic always, but you type Matic USD and use the crypto chart.
There was a rebrand before this rebrand.
Yeah, exactly.
No. You
I think they've had 3 rebrands.
I'm serious. I know there was.
There was. Oh, crypto.
Use- yeah.
It was Matic Network rebranded to
Back
Polygon.
here,
Okay.
yeah, back here was something. It was, I think it was Polygon, and then it went to Matic, and then it went to Pole. Okay.
I think it was it went from Matic to Polygon with the ticker Matic, but rebranded to Polygon because
I
Polygon's
don't know
easier
about
to
that.
market. No, I just
No.
looked it up. February
Oh my
2021. February 2021, Matic Network rebranded to Polygon, but the native token remained Matic.
Okay. That works.
We're debunking it.
But now
I
it's
just-
Pole, right?
I wish volatility returned to this ticker because I used to really like trading it.
Yeah. Where were we?
Doesn't look like it. Not gonna lie.
This is where we were trading it, Tommy.
Man, I had a golden time trading this damn coin.
Yeah, this was the chart we were trading.
I had hopes that Matic would be one of those that maybe survives longer term from the 2021 cycle, but it did not.
It's never too late.
Kinda is.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of here comes a schizophrenic fractal for you. eBay.
Oh no.
Mm.
eBay,
reminds
wait,
me
Matic does?
The eBay chart.
Matic does?
Yeah, if you go to eBay from
God, I used to love eBay.
me too, man.
Let's just
I mean, wow, it's eBay chart actually looks kind of decent.
where?
Like right there.
Yeah, right here. Before it came, let's go log all the way back down here.
It's literally minus 90%.
Yeah, that's the problem. I've been waiting for Matic to do that for ages and it just hasn't happened. It's actually been like pretty resilient considering that I don't know a single soul that's actually bidding Matic.
I'm
Oh,
bullish
I
on
guess lack of
McDonald's.
sellers.
So you think this?
I don't know, man. I'm not really tracking this fractal anymore, but I
That's-
used to think they were pretty similar.
Your mid fall, if that's accurate. That's crazy. How did you find that, Tommy? I don't even want to know. Actually.
You know what's crazy is this Microsoft Open that we had.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait, what's it at?
it was up 10% at open. I mean, huge gap up on the earnings. I think they announced some like massive data center plans and like they're increasing Xbox prices. They beat by like 2 billion on revenue. Crazy.
Do you think that gap is getting filled on Microsoft?
Yes. I mean, not necessarily immediately, but I for sure think it's going to be filled at some point. Probably Yeah, I think once we get, because like you've talked about seeing some pullback in the indices, I'm looking at the 5,200 level, probably pull back into there, 5,300 on the SPOs. And when
Yeah.
we get that, you probably get the same, similar price action. I mean, all these mega cap tech stocks are just literally the indice chart for the most part.
Yeah. Well,
Especially-
there is something called Mach 7 and SPX 493.
Whoa! Somebody
Yeah.
turn your alarm off.
Man,
Whoa.
I hate spam calls, man.
Wait, that's your ringtone? Oh, did we
We
talk?
we
about
debate.
this
We
the
talked
other day?
about this like a few days ago, man.
Dude, Tommy, you need to change that immediately. That is not okay.
You know what will make me change it is if I set my trading view alerts to play that noise. Can you imagine being like woken up in the middle of the night by a bunch of trading alerts with that noise?
I feel like every 6 months I have to change mine because I just get like,
Dude, I
it's like
won't
an
wake up.
emotional distress from it.
I won't wake up from a trading view alert at all. No way. You guys
I
wake
think
up
I did
from them?
change my sleep alarm because I would like wake up as if a war had just started outside.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what's going on? The markets are blowing up.
Let's see.
What are your guys' thoughts on the Chinese equity stocks right now,
That's a
specifically
great
Billy and Baba?
I'm still very bullish on it.
I feel like Chinese equities are cyclically in an echo bubble. Maybe they've already completed that echo bubble, but like generally speaking,
Wait, what do you mean bubble? Like
yeah, I wouldn't even
they've
call
been
it a
through it in
bubble.
2021.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't call it like a bubble in the sense that there was a lot of like speculative excess. But when I look at something like Billy, Alibaba, cyclically, they kind of look to me like US tech equities did coming out of like 2008, where they were about to have like a 15 to 20-year bull run.
Oh yeah, in that sense, I agree. I was thinking like they are in a bubble right now, and I was like, wait.
Chinese equities are overvalued, Jackus, even at these prices. At least that's what Twitter would like me to believe.
Indeed.
I still like Billy and Alibaba the best. NIO is a little bit schizophrenic.
I hate NIO.
I also think the company is like very fraudulent, but being an altcoin and crypto market participant, that's never really discouraged me.
Dude, Baba looks pretty damn good, brother.
It does.
I think you probably come into here soon. Wow.
One Chinese stock that I really wish we had more access to in the, in the New York Stock Exchange is BYD. I think their cars are incredible. Yes, their cars blow Teslas out of the water.
That's what I've been reading.
Yeah.
Gaming?
No. Down. It's OTC is what you're gonna have to click on. You could look at the futures if you want.
Wait, OTC? What are you talking about?
Go down.
Wait, so you can only put like limit bids then?
Yeah, or go scroll up, Tucker. You up one.
This one?
Yep.
After that, I'd like to discuss Tesla because I don't know if you guys saw the news yesterday that they're apparently looking for a new CEO.
I heard it.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like a very foolish decision to me, but
You think?
I think it's a underestimation or a misunderstanding of what actually drives the price of your stock.
Yeah, I agree.
It's an Elon social token. It's not, nobody cares about your cars. Sorry if you own a Tesla and I just offended you.
No, I think you might be even popular with this take lately.
And I mean, on top of that, like the whole sentiment regarding Tesla here, I think that it's very much worn its news out at this point. And because of that fact, I think Tesla actually has some pretty decent upside here. And you came back down into a huge level, you held it, and massive miss on earnings, but the stock is up like 15% from earnings. So, I mean, I think Tesla's got quite a bit of room to the upside.
Was the CEO news fake? That's what the comments are saying.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know if I know that that's true. It came from the Wall Street Journal. They're usually pretty credible. What does Tesla look like? The chart.
Tesla, let's see.
It looks pretty good. And I don't know if Elon has the same thing that Zuck has, where Zuck has super voting rights. So like no matter whatever happens in Meta, it like has to go like be approved by him.
Man, Zuckerberg went like total power seizure mode back in the day.
Wait, speaking of, did you hear Zuckerberg talk about AI friends today?
What?
Mm-mm.
AI friends?
Yes. You just spoken about Tesla wanting to replace CEO. Well, that was one thing. And the other was that Zuckerberg just talked about creating an AI friends, because most people have like 3 or less friends, and there is a demand for 15 to have. And he will have an AI companion.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, all right. All right, dystopian future, here we come.
I mean, we thought the fucking iPad generation was going to be bad from like a social perspective. Could you imagine what would happen?
Dude, the
Yeah.
iPad generation is a disaster.
Bro, it really
There are so many kids I know that just like they don't go. Their version of going outside is just sitting on an iPad playing Minecraft or something.
yeah.
The worst videos are always like the ones. I don't know if you've seen the video of the kid like scrolling through TikTok on his phone while playing a game on his iPad on like turbo speed. God help me if my kids end up like that.
That's
That's
something
probably
that I will not allow.
I'll probably like prevent iPad usage until a certain age, but
Yes, absolutely.
Dude, everybody says that, and like obviously I don't have a kid or anything, but my buddy was like, yeah, bro. He is like a 2-year-old. He's like, yeah, bro. I used to say the same thing, but like when you're at a restaurant, your kid's screaming, you just want to throw an iPad at them. You know what I mean? Like it's harder than it sounds, probably, unfortunately. But then I was like, bro, what did our parents do? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, they just told us to shut up.
raising kids is hard work.
Yeah.
I feel like you got to embrace that hard work rather than just like, I don't know. I don't want to get on a whole soapbox about something I've never experienced.
No, but then the question has to be asked: if our parents had the tech at their disposal that we have, would they have just thrown iPads at us? Probably.
I don't think so. I mean, I'm probably
You don't
not
think
like
so?
every. Well, I mean, like I had horrible OCD as a kid. Like I literally had to take medication for it. I missed some school even, but my parents would very strictly limit the amount of time I'd spend on things like video games, which got me outside. It helped me make friends. I think there's a happy medium.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, my parents gave me like a baseball, a soccer ball, and a football and said, go outside.
Dude, yeah, they would give me an out like when video game became a thing, like 11, 12, 13 or whatever. It was like, all right, you have an hour, and then you need to go outside, basically.
Gotta be building up those points from a young age.
Those points, those season 3. Is it season 3 now?
I think they already did season 3. but there might be another Hyperliquid airdrop. They've kind of been like hinting at it. Like the testnet has a new page for points.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if
see
you
it.
only get it for on-chain usage, but hopefully perps traders get rewarded too, because I have not really used the chain at all.
Yeah, some dude in the Discord yesterday posted the Hyperliquid scam link,
Oh,
and then at the
no.
very bottom underneath it said, "Don't click on this." I was like, bro. I was like, you can't do that. Come on.
Put the link and then just say don't
Yeah.
click on it.
I'm sure a lot of people got drained by that, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Pour one out. Crypto scams are getting very sophisticated. You never
Always has
know
been.
when you're going to get got.
Dude, I get text messages every day from quote unquote Coinbase.
Fake Coinbase.
Telling me that someone tried to make a withdrawal. I'm like, dude, I have $0 on your platform, so I know that's not true. Like, why would you? I'm just like, why would you hold a bunch of money on Coinbase?
I think the funniest scam that has been like hitting my phone lately is I gotta find it, but it is like somebody telling me that I have a toll that I haven't paid. I'm sure a lot of people have gotten
They're
that
everywhere.
verbiage.
Yes,
They're
bro.
everywhere.
It's so funny
Yes.
because it's like you have a $7 unpaid toll. Pay now or face severe consequences. I'm like, yeah, brother, you're gonna arrest me for like a $7 unpaid toll. Be serious. But yeah, I think that's probably a good spot to get back on topic.
Yeah.
If the audience has any tickers specifically that you'd like us to look at, man, I just saw some slander of an old base ticker that made me laugh. But if you guys have any tickers that you'd like to look at as well, let's take a look at them. What do we think of this gold sell-off? Where do we think the gold comes down into, Jackus?
I was discussing this few days ago that I think if there is a local top, it's this one. Seems like might be playing out. And I was thinking like sub 3K. 3K seems like a good spot.
Sub 3K. Okay. Oh yeah, that's not that. That's not too drastic. Let's see. Somewhere in here, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dollar up, gold down.
Yeah, you also see yield spiking a little bit today as well.
Do we? Probably because markets are higher.
Nothing. Fine. Zero soon.
Zero soon.
Yeah, zero soon.
And in the meantime, Netflix is at new all-time highs and Palantir nearing all-time highs.
Palantir is wild, man.
That's a crazy chart. What do they do? Nobody knows, but we bid.
Yeah.
Nobody knows, but it's provocative.
Let's see. God,
I mean, it kind of looks like the structure hood is trying to come out of.
Yeah.
I was buying options for this earnings right here. Like week out options back in 2023. Imagine if I just rolled them. Or just bought spot and shut my mouth.
Spot. Yeah. Pulled a clean 10x.
Dude.
I mean, it
An
looks a lot like
equity land.
Bitcoin, honestly.
Huh?
It looks at least like that rollout looks a lot like Bitcoin down there.
Dude, it was this. We
Not
just played for
surprising considering Peter Thiel has billions in Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's true. Dude, we just played for this gap up, right? We bought options here and we sold them right here. And that was it.
Always.
Options are like Blockbuster Video. Perps are like Blockbuster Video. Options are for Netflix chads.
Netflix chads.
I think you probably see Netflix announce a stock split here pretty soon.
Yeah, that's logical.
Stock splits are kind of, they tend to be tops, right?
Yeah, usually.
I mean, that was an Nvidia top, wasn't it? When they split 1 to 10. When
I
was the
think
split? It was right here. Oh, it was a top. It was a local top, and then it made
Yeah.
another high. Oh boy, let's look at these.
Yeah, I
lines.
usually see a bunch of people coming in. Volume picks up, marks a local top. Typically, see a little bit of a pullback. It also marked a local top on Tesla.
Look
who
at
could have
that,
foreseen buying Nvidia sub 100 would be a good choice.
dude. Look at this box, man. This was absolutely perfect. And look at these lines playing. Oh boy.
Takernachis.
Yeah, if we flip 115, blue skies to 140. Blue skies.
I will say, I think Apple earnings could maybe damper this earnings season just a little bit with the whole shenanigans going on in China.
Apple.
Yeah.
I think coin is front running ETH.
Coin is front running ETH. Coin, I mean,
With the
look
V
at that
shape.
look at that golden pocket, baby. We love that. I mean, what would this be like? 2100 ETH, and ETH would be like down here type
No,
thing.
I just meant locally with the V shape on like the daily.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Damn, actually no, this would be the ETH, like, yeah.
Underside retest.
Yeah, bro, that would be the Yeah, that would be this, I bet.
Did you guys see that XRP tried to buy Circle
Really? I did not.
for like 4 or 5 billion? I mean, they kind of like they lowballed the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Because how much is USD? I mean, I don't know how do you value Circle, right? Like, how do you value a company where the USDC holdings are worth significantly more than probably the bank? Because I feel like, if you effectively control USDC to a large extent, how do you even value that?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the problem for lots of people. How do you market all of these coins and companies and products?
That's where we come in.
Indeed. And we say billions and billions and billions.
Yeah, coin looks like it wants 240 here soon.
Actually, might take some short dated calls out on coin. I like it.
It looks like it wants to do one of these.
Got earnings coming up too. That's the thing, though. If you play options, before earnings, and you don't get a move outside of that expected move, I mean, you're going to get obliterated.
Mm-hmm. The IV on coin is wild.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I think I'm taking a great trade on a coin option, I lose money without fail.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever made money on the coin option either, actually.
I always kind of like ask myself, like, what is the long-term bull case for Coinbase, given that we have TradFi? I guess like they have to buy through Coinbase, but what happens when that
Base, maybe?
gets... Yeah, I guess it could be Base. What is the value of the Coinbase stock right now, like relative to something like Solana? Yeah.
Market cap 52 bill. Relative to Sol, it's less than Sol. That's for sure. Yeah, it's less than Sol.
What does Coinbase over Sol look like?
Like overlaid on Sol.
Or just like pairing them?
So wait, do you guys in the US use Coinbase as your like main to go exchange?
I do.
Or Gemini, one of the two, yeah.
I try not to touch
Okay.
Coinbase unless I'm moving assets across like EVM to Solana.
What do you use to onboard?
Robinhood,
Oh yeah, Robinhood's nice.
and I don't have to worry about getting my funds frozen at any point.
True. That is true.
Just the fact that you have to worry about this stuff is ridiculous.
So ridiculous.
It's insane.
In the year 2025, getting worried about the funds getting frozen.
On a centralized exchange, imagine being more worried about that than like getting your wallet on a decentralized blockchain drained. It's just funky.
Let's look at Sonic. Sonic's up 14% on the day. I think Sonic looks really good here for me.
Ooh, look at Sonic, bro.
It's not FTM, it is Sonic now. It's something totally new and shiny.
It doesn't look terrible.
Looks like it's trying to curl up. Like, I mean, majority of these charts are, these ones that are kind of at their floors. And so many of these charts look identical.
Yeah, no, that doesn't look too bad. Let's see. Let's get a little lifetime. That makes sense. 62 is the level to beat. Little work to do. Oh, we lost Jackus.
Oh
Yep.
no.
Oh, no,
The
wait.
Matrix is attacking him. No Europeans on during New York session. I'm joking. He'll probably be back.
Yeah.
And you guys see that most recent comment?
What? Voice with narrative on base. I don't know anything about that.
Have you heard about Andy on Blast?
Oh, of course.
What does
Dude,
the Blast chart look like? Actually, now that I'm
just the Blast token. Let's see. Blast USD. Oh no. It looks like fucking any BTC pair. Honestly.
this is like super low market cap now, though. I'm actually kind of interested in it.
What's the market cap?
I think it's like sub 100 million.
I wonder if it just has market cap on here. I don't think so. No. It's sub 100 mil.
I want to say their vertical is supposed to be mobile.
Mobile what?
I think it's just like onboarding people through mobile. But obviously Solana's kind of doing that too. This is just a much cheaper version from a token standpoint. So
True. Ooh, that's a good one. What do you think about Hayanon, Tommy?
I've been watching it.
Wait, no, it's not fucking. Fuck. It's on Sonic.
Do the one on base. It's like the same chart.
Is it this?
Yeah. I'm intrigued by it.
Yeah. Damn, it came all the way down to $2. I would wager the low is probably in at 235, 250.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be dependent on what Sonic does here. But if Sonic starts sending, then I can see this asset make new highs. I don't know if I'm expecting like $100 or anything, but this was such a great trade.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was Tia, bro. It was literally Tia. This was Tia. This is where we bought Tia.
Damn, it looks exactly like Tia, doesn't it?
It looks identical to Tia, bro.
What does TIA look like right now? Things you say at a local top.
What does TIA look like right now?
There's like 2 coins when people start, or even 3 coins from this cycle that when people start bull posting them, we're typically close to a top. TIA, ENA, and WIF.
Dude, this is literally Hayanon right here, this run up.
Yeah, it's the exact same, isn't it?
But
okay, the better question for this is what's the cap at? It's probably if I kind of how to trade this.
wait, what? You're slightly rugging.
Do we think TIA will ever get bid again?
I mean, the thing is with TIA is we were coming out of the lows and the bear market in 23, and it was the first coin fresh, hot off the press that essentially, was like promising free money through the whole airdrop narrative, and you had so much liquidity. You saw it pull in so much liquidity and stake it on TIA for this, like for the whole airdropping narrative. I just don't see it ever being able to like get back to a point to where it once was, to where people are like flocking to it in the numbers that they were.
Well, you probably need the dilution to stop is what you need, bro.
That too.
It's probably the main thing.
Do we think it ever gets bid again?
When you say gets bid,
No.
Like
define. I mean, do you ever think it makes it back to all-time highs? Is probably the better question. The answer increasingly appears to be no.
Yeah, I think it's probably a no for me.
I mean, this looks like so many charts from 2021, like that huge alt bull cycle in the spring of 2021. It's gonna
do like this, and then probably do that. Like you probably get one more attempt at like here, and then that might be it.
Imagine farming this instead of hyperliquid.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I think like the whole crux of why people didn't do that though is because, I mean, like usually when staking becomes such a popular narrative, you're pretty close to a top anyway, but like that usually implies, okay, I believe in this asset for the long term. Whereas like people viewed perps traders as people who don't really believe in anything. Ironically, it was the much better airdrop.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. It's not even close.
I've been just like scanning these altcoin charts for strength. It's such like a market of haves and have-nots as far as like what I want to bid.
Mm-hmm. And I think too, if we really start to see, the next quote unquote, big leg up in the market, there's going to be some new narrative that's going to spin up in the market. It happens every single time.
You want to know what it's going to be, Prometheus?
Yeah, let's see it. Yes, sir. Kita.
Not Aave. I have Aave up. I'm not talking about Aave, but I think it's probably the RWA stuff. And it was just, okay, this is a great representation actually. So the RWA stuff was just kind of lighting up and getting going. And then the tariffs happened. And also this was the Bybit hack on on
It was actually the candle before that.
what, this little green one?
No, the red one. The red one before that.
This one?
No. Like you had it there, just the red candle before.
Yeah, this candle.
No, the
To the
one
left
before.
too.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that was the Bybit hack. Then they ran the high, and everyone was like, "That's it, bears. That's all you can do." And then rug.
Yeah, no, that narrative was just getting hot. Then you had the Bybit hack, and then you had the tariff stuff happen, and then it was just fried. But
I remember that consolidation, that pump, that fake pump we had, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
People were complete assholes if you were bearish after that drop.
Yes.
because this was the hack, right?
Yes.
And then they pumped it, and then that's fucking jeez. Yeah.
What do you guys think about Plume? I don't know the market cap, but I've seen people mention it.
I have not really looked at it all that much. Let me take a look.
No idea. I mean, doesn't look bad.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, you're seeing that vertical accumulation.
I need to know all the new tickers because crime is going to be committed.
This came out in January. Is that real though? Because that's the Bybit part.
Well, and something I was thinking about too is like, if you like following what Binance is going to do, because Binance just delisted all those names and they're going to try to find, and they're, as we've talked about, they use that cash to, prop up BNB.
Mhm.
And when that starts to go dry, they're going to try to find something new.
Dude, we should look at BNB real quick, actually. God, dude, what is this?
Manipulation at its finest.
Yeah.
For real.
Compression.
Compression for sure. But which way?
I know.
That is, I don't love the look of that at all, bro. That looks like it wants to just.
I
It's-
just don't love the look of Binance in general, like the, antics they've been up to, and it's.
But I don't
Binance
know. They
has
could
been my favorite short leg over the last few weeks, just because it has not done shit to the upside.
They could prop this thing up, man.
I like
You can
that
have
trend
a
line you just pulled.
very tight invalidation as a short leg, given that it hasn't broken any highs in 6 months.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. But you have had, I guess you're not first high or low, but if it breaks 640, 650, I think you're back in a big way. But
Oh yeah. I think they're just kind of keeping it pinned, if I had to guess. This is one of those assets that tends to collateralize a lot of other trades in the market. That's why when you get market downturns, BNB always has kind of these outsized pukes.
mhm.
Popular collateral coin.
I know, look at these wicks, dude. That's what's throwing me off about this chart. Look at these. Just nasty.
I think that's also why funding is typically negative on it. People not really directionally shorting it, more so just hedging the fact that they collateralize other longs with BNB spot, or just hold BNB because you get the benefit of fees on Binance.
Dude, is Sailor twapping Bitcoin right now? What is? Look at this. I mean, Sailor and GME are shoving, bro. What? You know, which is unfortunate, but
I actually don't hate the GME chart, to be honest.
no, I don't either.
It kind of reminds me of Bitcoin at like 25 to 30K.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
I mean, if you were to show anybody that chart and you were to say, what do you think this is? Nobody would guess an equity. Like, that's crazy.
Looks like a crime coin. Unfortunately, I don't
does.
have one of those today, but
Dude. Yeah, Sailor waiting for the highs to be end to buy. That's oh my gosh, dude. I mean, it's such a critical spot. I mean, look at this. Like, that is your volume point of control. You are at all the volume done since November is right here, man. Like, that's not a insignificant point. So, personally, would not be opening up levered longs right here. That's all I'm
no,
saying.
you totally should.
Absolutely not.
There was so much effing long delta that came in today.
Mhm.
It's almost like, well, I can only interpret that as one of two things. Either it's like completely redacted flow, or it's, you know, somebody who's actually trying to move the market up.
It's redacted flow, Tommy.
I know. I just don't even know. Like, Bitcoin's kind of in a no trade zone for me. If you didn't, I don't think if you didn't long the negative GDP dump, which I honestly felt like was a fairly obvious punt, even if you are a bear, that we were going to take out like a week's worth of consolidation highs. I would not be like, I don't feel like there's any edge in opening a position at 97K Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But they were honestly like very generous. When you look at Bitcoin's lower time frame structure over the last probably 24 hours, the NASDAQ ripped into close and after hours. And Bitcoin and ETH lagged that move for like almost 12 hours, man. And then they finally pumped it. I felt like it was honestly a pretty free scalp. Like when we talk about how similar those market structures were with the NASDAQ and Bitcoin.
Yeah.
They gave you a lot of time to play that catch up.
Yeah.
What do you got? Okay, so I want to ask you guys about the VIX here, not just the VIX, but VIX futures, because there's such a discrepancy in the market structures between the two. Like I look at the VIX and I think that you're probably getting a complacency shoulder, but VIX futures look just dramatically better.
They need to break 20, man. The 23, really, I guess. 20 is all the way down here, but I feel
Yeah,
like
it's something that I've looked at too.
that's your shoulder, bro, and it's just gonna bleed. Or no?
No, I mean, I kind of feel like the VIX gives like some exit pump, obviously not to new highs, but the VIX futures market structure came down, relatively speaking, dramatically less, but it also pumped a lot less,
Yeah.
in
It did.
early April.
Only went to 41.
I'm getting mixed signals from it.
I agree with Tommy. I think you're gonna get an exit pump at some point to like 36.
There's a ton of volume coming in at the like 42 handle on VIX too the past like 3 days, like a ton. And I don't know if it's hedging, like people are just using it as a hedge, or if it's more so, you know, people actually expecting some significant, you know, pop and vol.
Did you see the flow on Nvidia yesterday, Prometheus?
I did not check it.
Somebody aped like 22,000 contracts of Nvidia 65s for May 16th.
65s.
I know. I saw that. I was like, what the hell? This has to be a hedge.
Well, and then I also saw like right before was that SMCI earnings, like 30 minutes before close, somebody apes like a $220 million short Nvidia position with puts and like printed on them.
Jesus. This is such like an insider trading market. That's what I am.
It's insane.
I have a really old tweet. It used to just describe crypto, but I guess now it's for everything. But it was like, if you see an asset having like suspicious flow, I gotta find it. I'm gonna misquote it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna misquote it because it was based on a copy pasta. Like, if you ever see suspicious flow in crypto, it's usually not just like a coincidence. The asset's path to being insider traded was preordained.
Nvidia, bro. What do you think about Nvidia right here, Prometheus?
Right here.
We're at 115. Are we gonna reject this?
I mean, just from because you got to think about it, so much of the market leverage is tied up in Nvidia, right? And that's largely due to the price action that we've seen for the majority of, the cycle. I mean, the entire market's been propped up by Nvidia, and I think you're starting to see actually a lot of that leverage exit. I think we could definitely see rejection around like that 120 level if we get up into it, but it's showing some strength off these lows. But at the same time, like if you zoom out on the higher time frame, there really isn't an underlying bid for Nvidia. Like ever since we had that gap fill back at the beginning of February, the chart's basically been, down only. And for an asset that was once leading the market, I think the market's starting to realize that there's probably not much more juice left to the upside, and you're starting to see probably a lot of that leverage unwind, and probably and it's making its way out into some of these other names. I mean, Netflix has obviously been a giga chad, probably out into some of the other Mag 7 names. I still think on Nvidia you come down into 75. I still think you take that low. But they also, if you look at Nvidia too, it was at one point like 8.5% of the SPY, and then we had the big sell-off, and when they rebalanced, I think they took off like almost 2% of the SPY weighting, or the Nvidia SPY weighting out. So I don't think Nvidia really shows the strength per se that it once had. I think the whole AI, chip takeover trade, whatever you want to call it, is largely done, especially with now the geopolitical pressures that Trump has put on, banning the sale to China. And for Nvidia and these chip manufacturers specifically, I think you're going to see a repricing of in valuations, especially moving forward.
Yeah.
But I think you still come back down between 95 to that 75 region, that volume area, come back down into there, maybe see like a reaccumulation. But I mean, Nvidia did lose structure. Like if you look at Nvidia, I mean, it lost structure, right? And so now what I think needs to happen is there needs to, come back down into what the market deems fair value, quote unquote fair value, before I think you really see a further, move higher.
Yeah, there's your little volume box. You dipped into it.
It's traded like perfectly correlated with USD JPY since May, June.
Yeah. All right, boys, you want to wrap it up there?
Yeah, I think that's a good spot. We hope that you guys enjoyed the show. Of course, as always, before we can, more formally send you on your way, I do have something that I'd like to show you. Your go-to tool for this cycle, guys, the BB terminal. Check it out.
Tired of outdated trading tools, confused charts, dozens of tabs, endless stress? You're not alone. Introducing BB Terminal, your all-in-one command center for crypto trading. Track your portfolio, monitor the markets, stay ahead, all in one place. From chaos to clarity, from struggle to success. BB Terminal.